Hey everybody,
Hi guys.
Todd and Andrea back again with another installment. We're waiting for our next Jungle Stand box. We thought we would do a video of the send-off of our 23andMe genome kits. But the hat can go away, even though I look like Sheldon with it off. Andrea and I have always had an interest in our lineage, our ancestry. I've kind of known through stories from my parents and things like that where I generally come from. Most of my family's from Europe, Northern Europe, Scandinavian countries, Sweden primarily. One of my great-great-grandfathers was on the very first Swedish Olympic team back in 1896, I'm told, track and field. And I'm guessing that he probably did pretty poorly because I'm slow. I know there's some German in there because of my last name, and I know from my mother's side of the family there's definitely some Irish in there because they came over during the potato famine. Andrea, on the other hand, doesn't really know a lot about where her lineage comes from, mainly because some of her relatives, specifically on her dad's side, passed away before she could really ask them much.
Right. Now I wish I would have asked, then I didn't think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's what I
you never
would say.
do.
Yeah.
We decided to buy the 23andMe genome kit. Basically what they send you is a saliva test. You take out your little cup and you fill it with spit.
Which we're not going to show.
You send it off, and a month later they give you a little report saying your ancestors came from here. There are other competing services out there. I know Ancestry.com also has one. There are probably others. We chose 23andMe mainly because in addition to the ancestry part of it that you get, they also give you a health readout, essentially saying, based on our research, you may be predisposed to certain diseases, certain conditions. So it's basically a preventative tool. That appealed to us more than just the straight ancestry part of it. Today, we're just kind of going to go through the kit, and we'll do another video in another couple months once we get our results back. Now, there's a lot of information out there that you may have heard about regarding this product as it corresponds to the FDA. The FDA sent 23andMe basically a cease and desist letter.
The day after we
the day after we ordered them. Yeah, naturally. Because, in reading through their letter and the interpretations of it, the FDA classifies this product as a medical device. As such, it falls under certain jurisdictions of what documentation needs to be present in order to prove their claims. Basically, the FDA is saying to 23andMe, we don't want you marketing the health aspects of this because we're afraid of people seeing false positives or potential false positives and going and freaking out to their doctor. From my perspective, that just is silly. If you're going to do that, then FDA would have to shut down WebMD. You can't go to a grocery store without overhearing somebody talking about, oh, they saw something, they felt something, went to WebMD, and they're gonna die in 4 days. I mean, come on, people. I mean, you have to use your brain a little bit here.
And not only that, I think that once you get these results, or the people that have gotten these results and have gone to a doctor and freaked out, I think the doctor needs to be able to say, look, yes, you may carry this trait, but you may never get this, or yeah, this is something we need to look into, or I don't think this is for you. Maybe later down the road we need to look in it too. If you're a healthy 20-year-old person, do you need to go and have expensive tests done? No, but it would be something for you to prevent down the road. If you can change something that you do every day to prevent something down the road, wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's all kinds of blogosphere information out there, people saying, oh, it's great, it's bad. The interesting thing about it is that most of the consumers out there that I've seen side with 23andMe, including myself. Frankly, I want to know my information.
I can go and have this test done at the doctor's office.
That's true.
It's going to cost me a lot more money, and my insurance company's not going to pay for it.
It's going to cost you $5,000 instead of $100.
I can have the same exact test done.
The doctors apparently are generally siding with the FDA, mainly because they're supposedly seeing an increase in the number of people coming in saying, I want MRIs done. I want to know that I don't have Alzheimer's or something of that level. Now, Alzheimer's is certainly a very serious disease.
Right.
But just like WebMD, this product is a conversation starter. That's the whole point of it.
Right, yeah.
And if there's no family history, you're not showing any signs of these things, your doctor needs to be smart enough to say, no, you don't need this yet. Apparently, doctors are having trouble getting that point across to patients. Now, there's another point that people have made about this, saying there's a worry cost that the negative information will cause. A cost-benefit analysis. Is knowing this information really going to help me down the road? If you're going to freak out about potentially having a serious disease, then don't get this. You have to gauge for yourself if you are able to handle the information you're going to get.
Some people don't want to know what the future could hold. And I again think that they have every right to. Some people want to know. I mean, there are tests now that you can do for cancers if you have a family history that will actually tell you whether or not you have the potential of getting cancer, and your insurance will pay for it. You have the option at that point. Some people, yes, I have a high risk, maybe I could get it, but I don't want that test done because I just don't need the worry the rest of my life. They want to just continue on the way they are, and if they get it, they'll deal with it when they get it.
I think it has a lot to do with just your personality in general. Yeah. I mean, type A people, fairly forward, straight ahead, let's go, charge on kind of a person. I want to know so that if there's something wrong, I can make changes to my lifestyle now, or I can mitigate those factors. I already know that I'm probably going to get prostate cancer when I'm 60, mainly because both of my grandfathers had prostate cancer. So I start having my PSA exams earlier than normal.
Always somebody will say, well, you don't need the test if you can just change your lifestyle
right,
now.
Which is fine. So that's why you go to your doctor and say, hey, what should I do? There's 100 different things that you can do.
I think that I should be allowed to have this test done properly if someone else can smoke cigarettes and know that it causes cancer.
Yeah, that's true.
Knowingly know it causes cancer. Why can't I do this and know what my outcome could be?
Mm-hmm. Back to the kit itself. It's $100 per person, and they send you this nice little box, and you open up the box, and it has a saliva kit in it. You go to their website and you sign up, and it'll ask you a general survey. It takes about 10 minutes. It's not very long, of just basic knowledge that you may have about yourself. What kind of geographic area are you from? Do you know where your parents were born? Do you take medications for any conditions? Have you been diagnosed with anything already? Of course, they have a very lengthy consent form that you e-sign when you're doing this to allow them to keep your data and use it for their research. $100 kit versus a many $1,000 test that you would have at a doctor's office. What's the difference? So what 23andMe and all of those other Ancestry.com, etc., do is what's called an SNP test. The SNP test looks at the billion or so most important genes in your body, and it ignores the other 2 billion or so. It goes from a 99.9% accuracy down to 98 is what their literature says. We're excited. We're excited to see how this turns out. I'm kind of curious to know if what I've always been told is really true, or if there's some other weird DNA in me that I don't know about. It's kind of it'll be interesting. You ship it off, it comes pre-stamped, pre-ready to go. You just close the box up and away you go. We'll see what happens here in a couple months. So stay tuned. Bye guys.
Bye guys.